This is your latest news update covering top headlines from the U.S. and around the world. Stay tuned for everything you need to know. President Donald Trump has signed an executive order eliminating collective bargaining rights for federal unions in agencies deemed essential to national security. The affected departments include state, defense, justice, energy, and health and human services. Notably, police and firefighter unions remain unaffected. Citing the Civil Service Reform Act of 1978, Trump argues that national security concerns allow him to take this action. The American Federation of Government Employees, which represents over 800,000 public workers, is preparing legal action against the order. AFGE President Everett Kelly called it a disgraceful and retaliatory attack on patriotic civil servants, while AFL-CIO President Liz Schuler described it as punishment for unions fighting against the administration's illegal actions in court. This move follows the Department of Homeland Security's recent termination of the TSA union's collective bargaining agreement. French President Emmanuel Macron has announced plans for a reassurance force in Ukraine, involving France, the UK, and other willing countries. While not unanimously supported by European nations, Macron stated that full agreement is not required for action. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer backed the move, calling it a deterrent against further Russian aggression. He also noted that any long-term UK troop deployment would require parliamentary approval. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky welcomed the initiative, confirming that some nations are offering security guarantees through the air or with boots on the ground. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has announced new U.S. military deployments to strengthen the Philippines' defense capabilities against China. This follows years of growing U.S.-Philippines military cooperation, including expanded base access agreements. During his visit to Manila, Hegseth revealed the deployment of advanced defense systems, including unmanned sea vessels and the Navy Marine Expeditionary Ship Interdiction System, as part of upcoming large-scale joint exercises. Additionally, special operations training in Batanes Province, a key location near Taiwan, will be expanded. Philippines Defense Secretary Gilbert Teodoro emphasized the growing Chinese threat, stating, "We face a common challenge: the overreach of the Communist Party of China. China has responded with strong warnings, urging the Philippines to reconsider its deepening military ties with the U.S. China has halted a $23 billion sale of two Panama Canal ports owned by Hong Kong's C.K. Hutchison to U.S.-based BlackRock. The Chinese government has initiated an antitrust review of the transaction, citing fair competition concerns. The move follows years of U.S. pressure on Panama to reduce Chinese influence over the canal, with the Trump administration labeling Chinese-controlled ports as a national security risk. Though Chinese authorities have not outright condemned the sale, state-run media has linked it to U.S. efforts to counter China's global influence. Sheriff Chad Bianco has officially entered California's gubernatorial race, pledging to eliminate the state income tax if elected. Calling it a barrier to economic growth, Bianco argues that high taxes have driven hundreds of thousands of residents and businesses out of the state. Critics question how the state would replace the over $100 billion in lost revenue, but Bianco points to states like Texas and Florida, which operate without an income tax. Other candidates in the race include former Congresswoman Katie Porter, former Los Angeles Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa, Lieutenant Governor Eleni Kounalakis, and businessman Stephen Klubeck. Federal agents have arrested 24-year-old Henry Josue Villatoro Santos, a top MS-13 leader on the East Coast. He was apprehended in Dale City, Virginia, during a raid on his mother's home, where agents found multiple firearms, silencers, and ammunition. Attorney General Pam Bondi described Santos as responsible for heinous acts and stated that he should never have been in this country. The arrest was part of a larger law enforcement operation targeting illegal migrant activity, which has resulted in 340 arrests. Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin has criticized sanctuary policies and warned that jurisdictions refusing to cooperate with ICE could face funding cuts. A federal judge has blocked the Trump administration from dismantling the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, issuing an order to reinstate terminated employees and preserve agency records. Judge Amy Berman Jackson warned that the administration's actions could permanently destroy the agency before the case is fully litigated. The lawsuit, filed by the National Treasury Employees Union, challenges the legality of the CFPB's closure. The administration, along with Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, had previously shut down the agency, laying off over 100 employees. The D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals has ruled that President Trump can fire members of independent federal agencies at will, striking down restrictions on his power as unconstitutional. Judge Justin Walker argued that the Constitution grants the president full executive control over such appointments. The decision challenges a legal precedent established in 1935 and raises concerns about presidential overreach. Charlie Javis, 32, has been convicted of defrauding J.P. Morgan Chase out of $175 million. Prosecutors revealed that she fabricated customer data for her financial aid startup, Frank, before selling it to the bank. Javis paid a third party to generate fake user profiles, inflating the company's value. She is scheduled for sentencing on July 23rd. Leonel Moreno, a Venezuelan social media influencer, has been deported after encouraging illegal immigration online. Moreno illegally crossed the Texas border in April 2022 and failed to comply with immigration check-ins, leading to his arrest. His deportation was delayed due to Venezuela's initial refusal to accept deportation flights. During his removal, Moreno caused disruption on his flight home. That's all for tonight's news update. Thank you for joining us. We'll continue to monitor these stories and bring you the latest developments. Stay safe, stay informed, and have a good night. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update.